Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, kicking off the Saturday Stakes action on Curlin, Florida Derby Saturday at Gulfstream Park. We'll kick things off with race number 4. It's a mile on the turf. Here's the field for the $100,000 Cutler Bay Stakes for 3-year-olds. We have a Grade 1 stakes winner making his seasonal debut, Mike. That's the 10 Decorated Invader, good-looking winner of the Summer Stakes. And then he proved that race was no fluke with a nice fourth-place finish in the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming back in a pretty tough spot here, Dan, but he looked like one of the better 2-year-old turf horses last year. It'll be very interesting to see how he comes back.
There should be pace in this race. The number 3, Gets Smokin'. Well, he lives up to his name leaving the gate. He likes to be forwardly placed. The 5, Inter Miami, a horse that's stretching out from dirt to turf. It'll be interesting to see if that dirt speed translates to this turf route. I think it will. So does Timeform US as we take a look at the pace projector. There's the 3, Get Smokin'. There's the 5, Inter Miami. And the 11, Mr. Hustle, Mike. He's quick out of there as well. And from the outside, his hooves are kind of forced. So I think we're going to get a real solid pace.
Yeah, I think we'll have a good pace in here, too. Mr. Hustle, unfortunately, drew a tough post out there in number 11, but he's a fast horse. We'll see if he comes out running.
The 1 is Please Call Me Back. And this is a horse coming down from Canada for trainer Roger Atfield. The blinkers are off. He'll appreciate a little bit of hitting up front. And this is a guy that was not embarrassed by Decorated Invader in the summer. He had a ready-made excuse that day, Yielding Going.
Yeah, he had Yielding Going in that race. One start prior to that, he ran against Mr. Hustle, almost no match, and had Yielding ground that day, too. So he's got some excuses. I think you still have to wonder how far he wants to go, but he ran some okay races as a 2-year-old.
Captain D, the number 2, is going to have to improve a little bit against this tough field, but I think his form is a bit dirtied up. 3 starts back, he beat fellow Florida breds in a stakes race going 2 turns at Gulfstream West. Then he just caught a tough edition of the Pulpit. Soli Volante won that race. He won the Sam F. Davis. King Guillermo was 3rd. He came back to pull off a shocker in the Tampa Bay Derby with a 99 buyer. And then after that race, they put Captain D in a dirt sprint, which is not his game. So I think he might get some pace. And if he gets the right trip, maybe he can crack the exotics at a big number.
I think all those things are true, Dan. I mean, his first 3 turf races, he actually ran well in all of them. And then that Pulpit, as you say, just came up surprisingly strong. And not only that, it was a really fast pace in that race. And he was close to it. He got tired at the end. He has an excuse there. Second off the layoff back to turf. He's interesting at a price.
Get Smokin' is the number 3, expected to be one of the 3 pace setters in this field. And we'll take a look at his last race, the Dania Beach, his second start at the Gulfstream Park meet. He went right to the front, and it took a nice horse to run him down in the lane. That's Field Pass, who came out of this race to win the Jeff Ruby Stakes, a Kentucky Derby prep race over the Turfway Synthetic with a 90 buyer speed figure. Get Smokin' has speed, just the stamina hasn't been there in his last 2. And if they go quick early, he might be susceptible late.
Yeah, fast pace isn't going to help him. That's Field Pass splitting horses there. He got a great ride to just get up. Get Smokin' ran well in there, Dan. I didn't really see the excuse for him not to hold on, but he still ran well. 2 back, I sort of felt the same way in the Kitten's Joy. He ran fine. I did not see the excuse for him not to win that race. He's hard for me to take in here, especially if the pace is faster.
I'm curious to see what we get from the number 4, Summer to Remember. Let's go back to his most recent start at Gulfstream. This is an entry-level optional claiming race, and he got right up close to the pace as a heavy favorite, and he had to work very hard to win. I think he's slowly improving with each and every start. It's interesting that both of his wins have come in pace pressing mode. He's likely going to have to come from farther off the pace in here. I think there's something here with this horse. I think he also catches a tough spot.
I kind of agree with you. I mean, I don't really want to knock him. His turf form is fine. And as you say, I do believe he is slowly improving. But boy, both of his wins, the first one there when he broke his maiden, just nobody closing behind him. And last time, you just saw the replay there, Dan. He got a very soft trip in that race. He was lucky to hold on in there. I mean, it's called saved by the wire with that. He's going to have to really improve here.
First-time turf for the 5, Inter Miami, who figures to be part of the pace picture, stretching out off a victory against fellow Florida-bred optional claimers on March the 4th. Big drama, 12% first-time turf runners. The dam is full of 1 turf runner that didn't win. I just don't see enough turf that's going to get me interested, even at a giant price.
Yeah, giant price. And listen, he has speed. Maybe he'll just clear off to the front in here and make himself really dangerous. But he's going to have to be a lot better on turf.
Vitology, the sixth, has a race over Decorated Invader, has a race over Mr. Hustle, and maybe that'll give him a little bit of an advantage. He has really done nothing wrong in 3 starts in North America. Yes, Decorated Invader beat him in the summer. He had a little bit of traffic trouble in that race, trying to come from far out of it. I thought his Bourbon was a remarkable effort. He drew post 14. He was forced to be last, and he came with a fantastic late bid to just miss. And then he won the Palm Beach, showing surprising early speed, beating 3 of these common foes. Well, watch that race right now. I like that he got right up close to the pace, and once he took over, the race was pretty much in the bag. I thought it was a good, hard prep race for him, and he's going to get the right setup.
Yeah, he ran well in here. I give a lot of credit to Castellano for this win because he had post 11, but he just got him forward right from the start and basically lost no ground after that perfect trip, tracking a 1,000,000 to 1 shot on the lead. But he took it over when he was supposed to take it over, and he never gave that field a chance. He makes a lot of sense right back in this race.
And a new rider will be named on Saturday. Javier, unfortunately, came down with the virus. We hope he's doing well. The 7 is Fenwick Station. No match for Vitology in the Palm Beach. We saw him run third, but I thought in his first start against graded stakes competition, the horse, it wasn't as bad as it looks on paper, Mike. I think a couple of things went against him. Outside post, far behind the pace. I'm willing to give him another one, second off the layoff. He's another horse that with the right setup, I think can get a piece of this.
Yeah, I could throw him in there at a big price too, Dan. I liked all of his races as a 2-year-old last year. I thought he showed some real potential. And last time, you're right. The trip wasn't a great one. Actually, when he was moving up into contention around the second turn, he just got in between horses. He had to steady. At that point, he wasn't going to win. And then, I wanted to see him maybe finish a little harder. Once he came clear in the stretch, he didn't really make a run in that race. But I'd be willing to give him a little bit of an excuse there.
There are some really nice 3-year-old turf horses in this race. To me, the most fascinating entrant is the 8, Moon Over Miami. You and I know, were really impressed with the way he won his maiden on dirt at Aqueduct for Bill Mott. I think he even made him an out-of-the-gate horse watch after that race. He's been put in tough spots since then against NY Traffic in his optional claiming race. We saw that horse finish second in the Louisiana Derby, and then they ran him in the Risen Star. His sire, Malibu Moon, can do anything. 9% winners with first-time turf runners. The dam was grade 3 placed on the turf. She was a first turf winner. There's just a big, classy pedigree to deal with here. I don't know. If this horse goes off at 15-1, I might want to use him somewhere.
Yeah, I threw him in my mix too. We'll see what he does on turf here. Like you, I'm not done with him yet. I still think there's a chance he turns out to be pretty good. And as you say, he has enough turf pedigree to make this switch. Not only could the dam run on it, the second dam, she's a sister to Music Note, who was a really good dirt horse, but also a sister to Musical Chimes, who was a grade 1 winner on the grass. There is turf pedigree here.
Number 9, South Bend, is a really consistent horse, and I have a feeling he's going to get lost in the shuffle and the wagering, and that might not be deserved. He had a decent trip in the Dania Beach 2 starts back. He was even in between horses behind Field Pass and Get Smoking in that bunched-up finish. I kind of liked him a little bit in the Palm Beach last time out, and I was shocked how far back he was first-time blinkers. He came with a good run to finish third. If the pace is fast and this is his new running style, it might work out for him at a nice number.
Yeah, I can see that too, Dan. Listen, I didn't love his Dania Beach. He ran fine in there, but that's just not a race that I like all that much. He did run better last time. Like you, I was surprised he was way at the back early, but he made a decent run to be third. I'm still not really sold on him. I'm probably not going to use him in this race, but like you, they have him 4-1 on the line. I think he drifts off that.
I agree. The 10 Decorated Invader at 7-2 is your deserved favorite or co-favorite if Vitology takes some money, but he handled Vitology in the summer. He beat Summer to Remember in that maiden race. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf we talked about, a good effort against a nice field. Billy Batts came back to win a stake in California with a 76 buyer. He doesn't have a lot of speed. That might actually work for him in this race. The layoff to me is a little bit of a concern because to me, I think Clement's going to ease him back into racing. He doesn't want to empty the tank in here. He just might be good enough to handle this field with the right setup.
Yeah, he certainly may be. He was really good as a 2-year-old. And you're right that he doesn't have a lot of speed, Dan, but he's not a plotter. If the pace is fast, obviously that's fine. But if it's not fast, it's not going to compromise him. He actually ran a lot better than it even may look in the Breeders' Cup last time. He did not have a good trip in that race, and he really ran at the end. This is a very talented horse.
If you like ones, then the 11, 2 ones there, Mr. Hustle is for you. He's a perfect 3 for 3. Here he is in the Soaring Free Stakes going 6.5 furlongs at Woodbine over Yielding going on August the 18th. He hasn't raced since August the 18th, but here is Mr. Hustle just putting the boots to the field at a very short price. 77 buyer for an August 2-year-old. That is nothing to sneeze at. He's going to have to work in here, Mike, against tough horses, going 2 turns for the first time off the layoff against tough horses, but he has talent.
Yeah, he really does. I wish he had a better post for this race. I would probably be way more interested in it, but I'm going to use him anyway, Dan. I like all 3 of his races as a 2-year-old. What I like most about that race we're watching right now is he made the lead, but when another horse came for it, he was fine. He let that horse take over, and he sat second for a long way in there before he came back and took over again. This horse has a lot of talent.
Street Ready completes the body of this field for Ian Wilkes and Chris Landaros. Second start of the season. No match for Vitology at a big price in the Palm Beach. Ran into a little bit of traffic trouble, but from this post position, he is really going to have to step forward in order to upset this field.
Yeah, I won't be surprised when he runs better than he did last time. He didn't do that much running last time, but I won't be surprised if he improves in this race. He's okay, this horse.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the $100,000 Cutler Bay. Decorated Invader showed a lot of class and ability last year, and I agree with you. If he comes back running, he's the horse to beat. I'm curious how they're going to bet him. I think he's going to be the favorite at post time, so I went with Vitology in here with the recency edge.
I don't disagree that Decorated Invader probably does go off favorite in here, but I just think he might be the best horse. Dan, I'll trust Clement to have him ready to go.
10-11, 6-8 for Mike, 6-3, 9-11 for me. It's the $100,000 Cutler Bay Stakes kicking off the stakes program on Curlin, Florida Derby Saturday at Gulfstream Park. Approximate post time 1 p.m. Eastern. Good luck.